Chelsea Football Club, FA Cup winners. Darwin has a hat-trick! Mbappe! Sensational from Salah once again.
Good afternoon, welcome to Football Focus. The Premier League title race continues to tantalise. We are nearly in May and we still have meaningful midweek football. Strong start, everybody. Aston Villa, we've been there this week. Their amazing run in the Championship. Both Norwich and Sheffield United could seal promotion to the Premier League. More on that later with Clem. But we're going to begin with some goals, and Liverpool once again behind Manchester City going into their match against Huddersfield last night. Your commentator at Anfield was Steve Wilson.
Huddersfield side, I have to say, did much better than the result shows, because we had really to work hard in a lot of situations. So they defended well, but especially they had proper counterattacks. So we needed to be patient as well. Boys were that, and then we scored wonderful goals.
Quite a finish, aren't we? That's the 29th time that the lead has changed hands at the end of the day, which is the most in a Premier League season. It's been brilliant, particularly from Liverpool and Manchester City. That was an impressive 5-0 for Liverpool last night, wasn't it?
Very, very much so. And I think
some books were going 45-1 Huddersfield to win, and that just shows you where this game is at. But you've still got to win them, you know. And I looked at the game, and if that had been City, they'd have probably put 10 men behind the ball, parked the bus. But for some reason against Liverpool, they wanted to try and have a go at them. And that just fell into Liverpool's hands.
Another 2 goals from Mohamed Salah. He's not in the Team of the Year. I know quite a few people have got complaints about Team of the Year, which we might get to a little bit later on. But have you seen now, in those 100 games he's played for Liverpool, he's outstripped everyone who's ever played for that club before. 69 goals in those 100 games. I mean, he has been an incredible signing.
He's been absolutely remarkable. And to think that he's not good... Well, we don't know yet. He might not win a Premier League with this kind of form. I still feel, though, he's not quite as he was last year, but he's just coming into that form. Is it going to be too late for Liverpool? We'll have to wait and see.
You touched on the form of the fullbacks. I know you picked out Mr. Robertson. Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could do the same sort of run on him, but Robertson was particularly influential, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely... I mean, to be fair, both fullbacks were outstanding, and, you know, you kind of think about this is a lad who comes from Hull. You know, £8 million they pay for him. And he just... We're always worried about his defensive play, but when he's attacking, you know, his delivery of balls and the way he puts ball... I mean, his energy to get up the park. I mean, Manny playing so tight allows him to get down the wing, and he did it time and time again. And when you've got 2 fullbacks doing the same thing on either side, you know, Manny and people like that can't complain with the service. It's a great ball.
I think the role of the fullback now has changed even again, and they're the servers. The quality comes from them. They set everything up, the ammunition they create for the team, and it's relentless for Liverpool, the way that they keep getting forward together. Quite magnificent. 11 and 9 assists for them this season, which is truly incredible.
What about the return of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well for Liverpool? How much of a boost could that be going forward? Because he's been out for a whole year now.
He surprised me at how bright he was, and he didn't look to me like a player who'd been out for nearly a year. You think that horrific injury that he had. This one here, his feet, I mean, he's really very nice there. Presence of mind, just needed a little bit of extra quality on the finish maybe, but that's really good news for Liverpool. Massive games coming up for them.
I mean, it's great news, because when you kind of think about it, he didn't really get a start early on, but then they played in midfield and he kind of excelled in that position. They kind of lost him. They probably had to go out and get Fabinho because he was out. But it's great to have him back. You know, it really, really is. He's a fantastic player.
All Liverpool can do now is win their games. Let's have a look at the table. If both Manchester City and Liverpool go and win their remaining 2 games for Liverpool, remaining 3 games for Manchester City, Liverpool could finish on 97 points, which would be enough to win 27 out of the 28 Premier League titles. Every single one, apart from last year, when Manchester City went over 100. It's been brilliant from the pair of them. We'll wait to see how it will finish, but can you see either of them dropping points, Paul?
No, when you think about it, no. Listen, because there's not been a twist, you know what I mean, because Liverpool win, City win. Is there going to be a twist right at the end? But when you look at the fixtures, Burnley, they've got City, you know, they've got to play Leicester, then they've got to go to Brighton.
Burnley's a difficult one, though, isn't it?
Tough. Yeah, Burnley's tough.
Because if you'd have seen their defending against Chelsea the other night, I mean, if you could... The front 4 would do a job in a back 4 for any other club in the Premier League, by the way they defended. And Burnley I feel a lot of the time they don't get the credit they deserve. There may be a special performance coming from Burnley. Apart from that game, I see that it's probably each team's going to win every game. So that's the one.
I kind of think when people talk about 97 points and not winning the Premier League, it's not even that for me. It's Liverpool will probably lose 1 game and not win the Premier League. Yeah. Lose 1 game and not win. It just doesn't make sense, does it, Mike?
But City to win it have got to match last year's record, 32 wins.
Which they could do.
It's going to be dramatic, I feel, at some stage. Talking about those two going head-to-head, congratulations to Liverpool's under-18s who beat Manchester City on penalties in the FA Youth Cup final. That was on Thursday night, and there is the obligatory celebration. Some Manchester United fans said they wanted to lose to Manchester City on Wednesday to try and stop Liverpool from winning the title. Between the Devil and the Deep Blue City. There it was, 7 defeats in 9 for Manchester United, the first time since 1962. You both saw them against Everton last Sunday. Did you see any improvement for Manchester United against City?
No, I didn't. I honestly thought, they were saying, some ex-pros were saying it was good in the first half. I didn't see that. It was good in the fact that they were trying to contain the Manchester City team. And Ollie was talking about after that, we were running around, we looked like we was up for it. I didn't see that. I think that's a natural requirement to run around and be up for it. You've just got beat 4-0 by Everton, on the Sunday. And you've got to think you're playing Manchester City, you're going for the Champions League spot. You've had one shot on target in the Manchester derby. So I didn't see any improvement, I didn't see any signs. I just saw a team with just lack of ideas. And I saw a kind of staff, me and Mike were talking about it before the show, and we're saying that, is the staff experienced enough? You talk about motivation and the players. In our era, yes, we can motivate ourselves. In today's era, you can't. You need a manager to do that.
On that, Marcus Rashford said, did you see that? He said we'd never call each other out in the dressing room. What would I imagine a dressing room with you two in it might be slightly different if you were in this situation?
I think after the Everton game, I think there would have been words in the dressing room. I think after the City game, the difference in class between City and Manchester United, making all this, by the way, much worse for United, because if one team seems to be falling away, although they've won trophies, haven't they, Europa League and League Cup trophies in recent years, nothing since Ferguson was there, it's very difficult. And I think they'd have gone home with the realisation it might have been a very quiet Manchester United dressing room. It's what they do from now on is the important thing. They've got 3 very big games, a game against Chelsea coming up, where they can make it into the top 4. They've got to show the necessary character, but the staff have to put a plan together.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if you kind of look at Pep and you look at Klopp, and they're always on the dugout, they're shouting and getting the players going.
Their players,
and I didn't see that, mate. I see Ollie's talking to Carrick. Are they too inexperienced to take this big club forward? I don't know. I said at the start they should have waited to the end of the season. I said that, and I'm not saying I'm proven right, but he's got a massive job ahead of him.
We talked about Salah not being in the PFA Team of the Year. Mr. Pogba was. We can show you that on the floor at the studio. Discuss. Should he have been there?
This goes back to, maybe there's going to be some changes going forward in the PFA, with the change of Gordon Taylor and stuff. We're waiting to hear.
You can't blame this on Gordon Taylor.
No, I think the voting takes place far too soon. Yes. This would have been a couple of months ago when Manchester United were really in that purple patch, and maybe that influenced a few people to go for Pogba. So, you can't complain about too many of the other players have all had outstanding seasons. Maybe Doherty at Wolves as a fullback might have come in as a right back. Other players like that might have gone into the team.
Yeah, I kind of think Martin's kind of right in the fact that when you do these votes, it's who's playing well at that time. And at that time, Pogba was playing well. But surely the team of the season's the team of the season, not the player who's played well for 8 games in that season. That's what it seems like with Pogba. Yeah. And when you kind of think Hazard's not in it, I think Decore's been outstanding for Watford. Doherty's been outstanding. So there's other players that don't necessarily have to come from the top 3 or 4.
I also feel across the board with those PFA awards that we should have a Player of the Year for every division, not just for the ultimate player. And let's have their day in the sun when each player can be lauded up and we can actually bring them out. And
I would go for the top job, Martin.
No. I wouldn't go for the. I don't think I'd be invited.
You'd be quite good at that.
I think it'd be great.
I'd be welcome to listen to go onto a committee, of course, for the greater good of the game, to protect the players, of course.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think you did the job, definitely.
Well, there you go. Support from Ince.
Vote Martin.
Could be number 2. Well, Manchester United no take joining things bubbling between you two today.
That's what we're really debating.
The official result of the PFA Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year will be announced tomorrow night. You can see that on Match of the Day too. But all week you've been voting for your BBC Player of the Year on the Sport website, and this is who you went for. Virgil van Dijk over Raheem Sterling. Are you in agreement, gentlemen?
I don't care what he thinks. I think he's got. It's about time we've had a defender that got this. I think it was John Terry in 2004. Last time we had a defender, it's an awful long time ago. This fella has everything: leadership, mobility, pace, aerial strength. Yeah, he deserves.
But not for you.
It doesn't matter because he doesn't care what I think. So there's no point in me saying anything.
I care what you think.
I care what I think,
Yeah.
Dan. I mean, listen, it could have been him. It could have been Sterling. You know, both have been immense this year. You know, in different ways. But I would have gone for Sterling, only on the basis of, you know, how he's matured. You know, the stuff that he's gone through on and off the pitch.
I think everyone looks at the creative players.
I think Dan was asking
Most of the pundits are
Dan was
either
asking me.
midfield players or forwards.
No, it's not about that.
And I think from a defensive point of view, it's really important in the game that we have good defenders. And this guy is a beacon. He has absolutely been absolutely magnificent.
I understand that, but Dan was talking to me about Sterling. Okay,
Sterling's a good player. Of course, he's done exceptionally
All I'm
well.
saying, they both could have won, but Sterling's kind of been a spokesman for the racism that's been going on. I think he's matured. He's now probably the main man. He played in all the big games for City. And when you kind of think of like De Bruyne, Aguero, they were the main players. Sterling's now looked to be that main man. But it could have been either one of them, Martin.
Okay.
Both fine players.
Excellent. You two have a little, cup of tea together. While you do that, back to today.